I'm making char Siu Bao. It was one of my favorite after-school snacks as a kid. My great auntie Faye taught me how to make it when I was about 8. So I'm going to make it as after-work snacks for Al and Michael. Feels appropriate. In the marinade here, there's a bunch of things. There's local honey, there's Chinese 5-spice, soy sauce, Shaoxing wine, and the secret ingredient, which is fermented red bean curd. A little bit niche, but it's integral to the success. Next up, I'm using pork chops. These chops are actually from the last pig that Elle and I raised together. Doubly appropriate. I'm gonna stick them in the marinade. Normally I would put this in the fridge overnight, but because we're short on time, I'm just gonna give them as long as I can, and then I'll baste them when they're cooking. Then it's time to cook the pork, the old school way. I've got the marinated pork chops, and I'm gonna cook them over the charcoal. Normally I would use pork belly, but chops are what I had left from the pig Al and I raised, so chops are what I'm using. Now that these are about done, the final job is to let them cool a little and chop them up for the bun dough. Char siu roughly translates to fork roast, and it's a Chinese dish which is up to 3,000 years old, and I can attest that it is delicious. Al's gonna love it. Food is how I thank people. Food is the language that I trade in. You know, it's also my profession, and it has been for a long time. Next, I roll out the dough. So steamed bun dough has no gluten development. So it's essentially the opposite of a sourdough, where you want a lot of gluten development. Therefore, a lot of people use cake flour or a low gluten flour. It's meant to be soft. And the Chinese love those textures. Once I've added the filling, I even out the edges of the dough and pinch the buns to close.